On this week's episode of Backroads and Barstools, we have our first guest inside the Clubhouse Lounge. We welcome in Jack Daniel to the show to talk songwriting and storytelling. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio's Backroads and Barstools.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Backroads and Barstools here at Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I'm Keith Gibson here in the Clubhouse Lounge, and with me today, my first guest in the Clubhouse Lounge. This is exciting. I've got Jack Daniel with me. Jack, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could come up. You're down from Hammond.
Yep.
So Jack drove up down there and get to crescent the Clubhouse Lounge, which I'm excited about. So, but hey, let's. It's all about you today. It's all about Jack Daniel. It's all about your music. I know you're working on an album, right?
I've been working on an album. It's fallen through a couple times. We had started a project with Blake Carson, and then it was called Circle of Arrows. And due to technical difficulties, the album just kind of didn't go through. And then a buddy of mine, Wall Drop, you had him over at the Hammond Depot once. He's helping me record just something simple to put out so that I've got music for folks like you to listen to put on the show.
Put on the station. We're excited for that. So what kind of stuff for people who don't know your music? What kind of stuff do you like to play?
It's a country folk. I like to call it. I'd like to just folk music. Just music that's basically more about just down to earth stuff and emotions and things that people go through, rather than material songs about things that people tend to steer toward, like Red Dirt Roads or
the typical stuff.
And I mean, there's nothing against it, but I prefer to play more like John Prine style storytelling music and songs.
That's great stuff, man. Great stuff. How long have you been playing?
Probably about 8 years, off and on. I've been writing songs for way longer than that. I was in a rock band for a while with Blake Carson and a few other buddies, and I wrote songs. I didn't play any instrument, and then I got to a point where I was just like, I'll try to do it on my own and do the solo stuff. So I picked up an acoustic and put forth effort into actually trying to play one a little bit. So
awesome. I've tried. As I told Leighton a couple weeks ago, these short fingers, man, I just can't get it. I mean, I got a guitar sitting back here. I strum it every once in a while. It makes the kids.
Ukulele.
There we go, man. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's where I need to go, man. My kids love when I strum, and they love coming out here. But no, so you got some new music. It's more folk. It's more. Is it just acoustic? Do you play any like electric guitar? Or
I've dabbled with it, but not for anything recording or anything that I've performed. Just not really. Most of it's just acoustic performances, and I just like the natural sound of a good acoustic guitar. Man,
I can sit and listen to somebody play acoustic all day long.
Oh yeah,
it's just relaxing, and especially if they're playing some good stuff. They don't even have to play songs I know. They can just sit and play and sing, and I'm a happy man. That's why we do these Backroads and Barstools, because I love that so much. But let's talk about kind of where you play. I know there's you said before we came on that you like to play a lot in the summer, being outdoors. Is that kind of like your thing? Is being outside?
Well, I think for me, it started out playing around campfires and people's outside, like house parties outside, and so for me, it's just more relaxing to play outdoors until it gets stifling hot. You still gotta sit there and sweat your ass off. Play it out, but for the most part, beer's for, right? I mean, I like playing outside. I'll play just about anywhere where they'll let me play. Sometimes my stuff is their thing, and then sometimes it's not. It can be hit and miss on where you play. I like to play in smaller venues where the songwriting can be appreciated. I mean, it's easy. Whenever you're a full band, you can go and play in large bars where there's large crowds.
Right.
But for my kind of music, and because I enjoy the storytelling aspect of writing, I just prefer to play in smaller venues.
You like more intimate sessions like that? I don't blame you. That's cool. Now, what's something that you've seen the music scene do around here? I know what I've been told is you're the guy that started the jam sessions down at the West End Club down in Beeman.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they say. I just think one person can't start anything like what we got going. What we've gotten to. It's definitely been a group thing. I don't some, a lot of them will say, oh, we started with Jack and his open jams, but really, an open jam is just a guy sitting in a room playing guitar. If somebody doesn't show up to play or doesn't come back to play again,
right.
So really, I mean, it's all just, I think that just the friendships that we've formed through playing has kind of really helped us continue to progress as we have.
Were you able, when you get in a jam session, are you able to kind of like, that's a good riff. Are you able to pick up things like that and then maybe turn it into a song or pick up something somebody says and do that way?
Like, there are times where I think that for a lot of us, because you can't be around your friends all the time, people got families and stuff, but
those families, they always get in the way. I tell you,
they get in the way sometimes. But yeah, I think for the most part, like you can sit at home and write a song, but there's a different form of inspiration that comes from sitting in a group and working together. And you don't really go into those thinking like, oh, I'm going to come out of that with a song. It's just kind of sitting down with friends. But then after a while, like I think Zach, he has one that he wrote that's about, about hanging out with us, and seeing how the whole, from a different perspective, how it all goes down whenever it comes to sitting there and playing together.
I love sitting with you guys because I enjoy this because I get to hear from each of you. All know each other, and it's a very tight knit group.
Yeah.
Between you musicians, you help out. You're always promoting each other, which I think is awesome. You promote Clubhouse Lounge Radio, and so I appreciate that as well. And we are sitting here in the Clubhouse Lounge today with Jack Daniel, great artist. You do some great things, great music. Got some new music coming out. What's on the next stage for you? Besides having the album coming out. Some songs coming out there that everybody can join. We'll get those on the rotation as well on the radio station on Clubhouse Lounge Radio for everybody. But what's your next few months look like?
The next few months, I'm going to do this album that I'm finishing up with Jason. And then we have a collaboration album in the works, me and Dave Woolridge, Christopher Corkery. He's another wonderful songwriter. He's supposed to be on it. And it's going to be like just a Prairie Land collaboration amongst like the people that we've played with them around here, like 10-song album, and all of us we'll have a couple songs where we'll duet or play as a group and record them and put them on there.
I saw you guys been working on that, and I've kind of been following. I'm excited for that because you talk about like there's 4 or 5 of you talented musicians put together. It's going to be some great songs.
Yeah, and it, like I said, like. It'll be the first time for me personally that I've seen us as a group, record anything together, because we're all just starting to get out there as far as personally recording our stuff. So to see us get to a point where we can record together as a group or, as a team, it really makes it exciting for us, I think.
Oh, I'm sure. And plus there's probably a lot of good things you can take from each session with those guys too. You're like, man, I got that. I feel this. Let's talk about songwriting. Because I love to write too. And I told Leighton this a couple of weeks ago. I love to write, but you guys take it to a whole nother level. What inspires you? Like, where do you pick up songs from? Do you just hear somebody say something and just go with it, or you have a thought pop in your head like, man, that'd be a great song?
I think it's just a general thought, like, or I think it's a little bit of all of that. Like, like sometimes you're sitting in your car and you might think something and you're like, well, that would make a good song, or. So you jot it down and then you come back to it. Or if you think of something later on, sometimes though, they just come to you like instantly, like you'll come up with one part and then the next part comes but you might not get the whole song. I hardly ever write an entire song in one sitting, or, usually I might have to come back and work on it a little bit and then, and touch up the lyrics or the timing or whatever it may be. But yeah, I think a lot of it's just very spontaneous for the most part.
Do you get it a lot from experiences too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that, living, like you can write a song about, doing something simple and you can make it heartfelt and people will relate to it, if they've experienced that, but, I think that experience has a lot to do with it because that's what people form the bond to the song with, is kind of, what you're singing about and if it relates to them or not.
Now, I know personally, I enjoy when I write, which isn't often anymore because, when you have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old, they keep you pretty busy besides when you're doing other things you enjoy like this. But when you write, It's also almost like a release to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's and like I said, well, before we got started, like I paint. I'm a firm believer that creativity is an emotional outlet for just about anyone to
Agreed.
do anything. You know?
Agreed, man.
And I think that's why people have man caves and have, you know, and have radio stations and,
right.
and have their buddies over to play music, because they have to have some form of emotional release that doesn't, you know, that somehow affect their personal life or what they've got going on.
I told you before we came on, I said my goal is sometime this summer to get all you guys together and we sit right here in the clubhouse lounge and I let you guys jam out and we open the garage doors and let the neighborhood have a party.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be awesome. So remind the musicians out there, keep that in mind.
Hold it to me.
But also we've talked about, you know, before we came on is some things like one of my goals is in the next couple of years, do a music festival. There is so much talent here in Central and Southern Illinois, and even a little northern too, that you could have such a music festival with just independent artists mean to you guys to be on stage in front of a big crowd. That
I think that for all of us, like it's something that, you know, that you didn't really think that you could ever achieve. So it's not something that we overly think about, but the thought of it happening, you know, or knowing that if people came out that it could be a success would mean, I think, a lot to a lot of us, like just to show that, you know, to see like a local appreciation for what we've, you know, for what we do, and how, you know, because like I said, like, I think one of the things I admire the most about our group is, you know, about the people that we meet. And it's not just it's not just Lee and Jason and Blake, and it's, you know, it's people when we go to shows, you know, out of state to Wisconsin, and, you know, folks like Mark Gratz are like, hey, you know, like we got this place for you guys to stay while you're here. And they genuinely support outside musicians, you know, indie musicians, as much as we do here, you know, so it helped. I mean, it means a lot to us all that we just, I think, have gotten as far as we have and accomplished, you know, what we have and met the people that we have. Like the rest is kind of just bonus.
Right. You said you play out of state. Where's some of the places you played out of state? Like, do you like to go? Do you like different venues, or do you like to stay in one place all the time? Like, do you have a home venue?
Like in the home venue differs for me, like, but it's always local. Like, I enjoy playing, like, you know, the West End and the Depot in Hammond, which usually the closer to home, the better, you know, because the less I travel, the less I have to think about it, and I can focus on what I'm doing, you know. And so,
well, the Depot's pretty close.
Yeah, it's like a watering hole. Yeah, it's like right down the street, like, you know. So, and in a way, but as far as like traveling and playing goes, I really enjoy that. We went last year, and it was one of the first times that I actually went, you know, across state to go play somewhere. And I went with Dave Woolridge, and that's when we met Mark and them. And it was just an exciting, you know, ordeal to know that your music's taking you over here and over there, and to meet new people. You know, it's all just exciting in its own way, I think.
David Woolridge is one of those guys we want to get on Backroads and Barstools too. Yeah. So Dave, if you're listening, get a hold of me. Let's get something set up. But you know, you've made so many, I can tell, made so many friends. You're a laid back guy. I love it. Your music's great. Let's talk about when you get stuff published, where are people going to be able to find it? Are we going to be able to find it on Amazon and everywhere? Like, I know Jason puts his music out there. He said he was big in China.
I think we're going to end up, you know, we all pretty much, I think, use like, it's like CD Baby or one of those. Like, I think some of them use DistroKid, or I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, we all use pretty much the same thing so that we can put it on all platforms and it stays up to date. If they come out with something like a new app that has music, then it automatically
that's awesome.
Adds it to whatever that is. And but at this point, I think that's the best way to get your stuff out there. You're not really looking to make money off of putting, in my opinion, you're not looking to make money by putting your music out like that. You're just kind of putting it out to see what people think of it and getting a wider range of opinions versus just playing locally.
Right. Yeah. It's, I get that because, you want more eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
More eyes and ears you see, the better it is. And you can get more feedback from that and know which direction you need to go. But that's why I wanted to give you guys a platform like we do here in Clubhouse Lounge Radio, just so there's another avenue for you guys. And that's what's important. But before we finish up, we'll take a quick break here in a minute. We'll have come back and we'll have you play a song for us. But tell us the names of songs you got coming out on your album.
we got the one that we did for the promo, like the prelude to it all was Ain't Lonely. And it's a song basically about, when people bother you about maybe like, you okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm all right. You're just in thought, or you're thinking about something, you're off in your own world. And then The Tavern, which is a song I've played for a couple years. It's one of my favorite songs that I've written. And then I Suppose, which is a song that I wrote for my fiance, and then a few others.
Nice.
Because like I said, originally we were going to do a 10-track album, and we just decided to go with a 7-track album because I'm getting ready to record an EP with Bill Demenkoff.
Nice.
And he's out of Champaign, and we're going to have 3-track song on it. So I figured I just split it up a bit.
Nice.
And so I got 3 that are going to come out on that album. I don't have any information on when it'll be done or when it's ready.
What are we looking for with your work with Jason here, Waldrop? Another great artist we had on Backroads and Barstools. If you haven't, go back and watch it. But when do you expect that to be done?
That should be done I'm hoping within the next couple of months.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that. We look forward to getting in rotation on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Daniel, talented musician, songwriter, storyteller, which is even better, man, which is even better. And you know what? A man who will sit here and have a beer with me. And that's the type of guy I like. So right here in the Clubhouse Lounge, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, and Jack's going to perform one of his songs for us. He'll be the first person to sing a song right here in the Clubhouse Lounge. So we'll take a break and see you just a minute here on Backroads and Barstools.
Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Grab a drink, take a seat, and enjoy the ride. CHLradio.com. It's local music talent, local sports, and we're on air everywhere. Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It's good for the soul.
Welcome back, everybody. Backroads and Barstools. Keith Gibbs here in the Clubhouse Lounge, my Clubhouse Lounge, with my new friend, Jack Daniel, who's going to perform a song for me. We thank Jack for being here.
Hey, man,
thank you. On Backroads and Barstools. Hey, if you're out and about and some of your favorite establishments, check these out. We've got koozies for Clubhouse Lounge Radio. We've got shirts. Jack's going to grab us a shirt. Check out these new shirts. I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself, and I like to pat myself on the back a little bit, but try Backroads and Barstools right there, Clubhouse Lounge Radio. You can either go to the website, chlradio.com. That's right. Or you can hold on to me, and we can always get you one too as well. We want to get it out and about as much as we can. But Jack, you're going to perform a song for us. Once again, we thank you for being here, and take us out. We'll see you next week. Clubhouse Lounge Radio, Backroads and Barstools.
No, this is a song called Good Man. Wakes in the morning, lays in his bed. He ain't got the will or the want, or reason to live. Life hollers at him, he don't seem to care. He's lost in thought, no room left to spare. She calls him a good man. A good man he's not. He's trading things that he has, things he ain't got. She calls him a good man. A good man he's not. He's trading the things that he had, things he ain't got. He could start over and just be the same. Soggy old shoulder, dirty beard, and a worn out name. We call him a good man. A good man he's not. He's trading the things that he has, things he ain't got. We call him a good man. A good man he's not. He's trading the things that he has, things he ain't got. Life has been tough now, the last few years. got much to show for blood, sweat, and tears. Hand-me-down blue jeans and old resin stains. Too many empty pockets and not enough complaints. We call him a good man. A good man he's not. He's trading the things that he has, things he ain't got. We call him a good man. A good man he's not. He's trading the things that he has, things he ain't got.